sources last night told me that the Big 12 has already put an agreement in place with ESPN for football to have mic'd up segments where they will have microphones live on the field during the game. They will also be doing live interviews and live locker room stuff, like a lot more of an NFL feel for Big 12 football on ESPN starting in 2024. I think that's going to be interesting, certainly. How do you not like that? I mean, anytime you get behind the scenes, I think you got to love that content.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what we're all here for as sports fans. We all want to see the locker room stuff. We all want to see the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know? And I think that's what I think is the next level of entertainment. And again, it's this whole conversation that I know you guys love and thoroughly enjoy about how the Big 12 is innovating and is on the cutting edge. I mean, again, you start to see people are now valuing it all started, I feel like, with Major League Baseball, where Major League Baseball would put a mic on the left fielder in the All-Star game because the All-Star game doesn't matter, and they would talk to the guy. They do it during the Home Run Derby. It just started during exhibitions. Now we get it in regular season games of consequence. Like, you're seeing it in a bunch of different sports. I'm just telling you, man, it's the next level, and now you're going to get it in a football setting, which I think is the coup de grace of behind-the-scenes content. I mean, whether we're talking about the NFL draft, a Big 12 football game, like whatever it is, that's what people want. So when I saw this, I was absolutely thrilled, and I'm not going to be surprised if, everyone else follows suit.
I think it's one of these deals, you guys, where it's just what has to happen. But again, and I know we talk about this all the time, and all the Pac-12, hey, you guys are Big 12 ain't on, bro. Congratulations, loser. Well, look, the facts are not in dispute in this situation. And I think when you look at all of these deals and you look at all this stuff that we always talk about, who's winning here? Well, the Big 12 is winning because the Big 12 is innovating. This stuff in Mexico, I don't know how many of you I'm sure have heard, the Big 12 now is very, very close. In fact, I'm told contracts are signed in Mexico already to have football in Monterrey and basketball in Mexico City. You are talking about, I think, a historic agreement where you're going to be able to build a global brand, and you're going to do that with entertainment via sports. And when I say entertainment via sports, I think there's a very distinct difference here, which is you're going to play a football game, but you're going to have a Super Bowl halftime show. You're going to play a basketball game, but you're going to have, entertainers and artists performing, and like, they are not just going to do basketball game. Okay, here's the Phillips Conoco Coca-Cola halftime show.
Hey guys.
Like, they're not doing that. They're doing like rappers, singers, artists, performers. These are big to do. These are big events that draw a lot of people. That makes you more money. And the thing that I don't understand is why every other conference in the country did not think of this before Brett Yormark came along. Because that's the other thing I think that this tells you about the Big 12 with these mic'd up segments, with these on-field interactive segments, with going to the TV partners, going to ESPN and Fox and saying, hey, we're going to do this. How do you want to integrate this into your broadcast? Because you don't see this stuff in college athletics on the regular. And I think what it's telling you is the Big 12 is now setting an example for the rest of college sports, which is you can't just have a TV deal and expect to cash that check and everything's going to be fine.
Right.
Because that's not what it is. What this tells me is you're going to get mic'd up segments brought to you by, hey, Jimmy Joe's Truck Stop here in the Truck Stop Conference.
It's the Big 12!
Right? You're going to get, hey, mic'd up by Burger King. You're going to get, hey, locker room interview brought to you by Shell Oil. Like, you're going to get these big deals because, again, you have to find new revenue streams. So I just love what they're doing, Jake. I don't know how you don't embrace all of this, and I don't know how you don't look at what the Big 12 is doing. And I have to think that this deal in Mexico begins a trend because we haven't seen much college football played internationally.
Right.
It's just not something you see. You see softball tours, baseball tours, gymnastics, certainly. We've even seen college basketball global tours. I don't know that we've seen a whole lot of, and I was looking for it, and there are a handful, but I don't know where we've seen a series of games a la the NFL in Europe, right? Like, I don't know that we've seen a series of games by an athletic conference like we're seeing with the Big 12.
No, and I think we're certainly not seeing it in as aggressive as a manner. I mean, you look around sports. I mean, most sports are global sports without, one league dominating the entire globe. Like you look at, Major League Baseball as an example, or the NHL, or like a lot of these games are global sports. And you hear all the time, like, hey, this guy went overseas to play here, or he did that, or yada, yada, yada. Like, we all know those stories. And I just think it's high time someone started thinking outside the box, as I always say, and thinking about it in a different way. Like, we can't think of, with basketball, the NBA, like the Chinese market for the NBA is massive, man, and it's been massive for decades. And if you think about it, if you have an NBA basketball fan, there's probably a good chance that if you go overseas to their country and give them a product that's basketball oriented, but that they've never seen, and you've got entertainers and it's an event and it's a cool thing, you're going to do really well on that. Even if it's not NBA basketball for an NBA fan, it's still basketball. Hell, I would even go as far as to say it's still some of the best athletes in the world. Even if you're a low-end Big 12 player, you're still one of the best basketball players in the world. Yeah, you're not NBA, but how many of us can actually play D1 basketball at Kansas? Like, you're still a great basketball player, and that's what I think we lose sight of sometimes. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, I'm not going to do this or do that because, yeah, we're just the Big 12. If you have that attitude, you're never going to do anything. But that's what I love about Brett Yormark, and that's what I would hope that, Tony Petitti or any of these other commissioners would adopt. Hey, we are this. That means we should go and do that. And that thing is going to make us a ton of money. It's like the rivalries in sports, like Notre Dame USC. There's no actual reason why those two teams have to play, right? Like it's not like some, ranking mandate that Notre Dame and USC has to play. But why do you play? Well, because your rivals, your fans love it. Like, it makes you a ton of money with your sponsors. Like, it's just this great thing. So that's why I say, like, you have to be positive and forward thinking, and you have to create those opportunities. And that's why we're seeing the Big 12 again continue to move forward and make money.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And if you're the Pac-12, man, this has got to be a tough pill to swallow. And I think when you look at what Mexico represents to universities like San Diego State, what Mexico represents to the Arizona schools, I mean, this is a big deal. And I think also when you turn around and you look at what Mexico represents to Texas Tech and Houston and, TCU and the rest of this conference, you're starting to understand that Brett Yormark is just taking advantage of the lack of action in the Pac-12. And
Facts.
I just continue to look at these deals, and I say to myself, I don't know how the Pac-12 is going to survive this. I don't, and I know you may think I'm being grandiose, or if you are hearing that Brett Yormark, and let's say that you are, President Robbins at Arizona.
Yeah.
If you're hearing that Brett Yormark is playing games in Mexico, Monterrey and Mexico City, if you are hearing that Brett Yormark is working with ESPN to do innovation in his broadcasts, so Mike Dubs, on-field interviews during the game with players, like all of these things, I don't know how you're not disappointed in the Pac-12 at that point.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you don't have a TV deal to even have those conversations. You got to feel like your brand is damaged by this lack of a TV deal. And you can't even go out and make deals into the future because you don't know if you have a home. So when you're looking at a guy like President Robbins in Arizona, who is somebody that has been talking about going to the Big 12, and is somebody who has openly talked about the fact that he has, quote, an affinity for the Big 12. I mean, he has got to be just champing at the bit to get a TV deal done, to make a decision one way or the other. That is very clear to me, and I feel like there's almost no way to get around the fact that every one of these moves, from Rucker Park to Mexico to Mike Dupp to Kansas City to the Dallas Cowboys Pro Day, like all of this stuff just continues to drive the point home that the Big 12 now has solidified its future, not only in 2024, but beyond, far into the future, because now it's a media company. Mm-hmm. It's no longer an athletic conference. The Big 12 is now fully a media company, and I think that's a significant change from where we've seen this in the past, and I think it is absolutely another kick in the balls to the Pac-12.
Well, it's like the old adage, right? Like, you're not a football company, right? Like, hey, it's the old McDonald's adage, right? McDonald's isn't a burger company. They're a real estate company, right? Like, the Big 12 isn't a football company. They're a media company that happens to play football, and I think that mindset allows you to start to understand, okay, so if we're a media company that happens to play football, our whole goal in life is to leverage football to make money. And so that's why you're getting now mic'd up stuff. That, like, if you think about the fact that Brett Yormark has time in the NBA, right? Like, Brett Yormark has been places where they do a lot of innovation. They do things at a tremendously high level. And I think he's brought that experience to the conference. And so think about this. Think about the order with which all this has happened. So what was it, 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago now, the combine at Jerry World gets announced. Maybe a little longer than that, but you get my point. The combine at Jerry World gets announced. Would it be any surprise if dude runs a 40 at the Pro Day Combine event at Jerry World, and you get an interview with him right after that? Would it be any surprise if dude pulls out 39 reps on bench at 225, and you're like, dude, like, you just crushed that. What are you thinking? Or whatever. You know, like, that's the type of stuff that fans want. They don't just want to see the event. They don't want to see dude just doing whatever he's doing. They want to get to know him. And that's why I think it's just so smart, because all the sponsor cares about is put me in front of as many eyes as possible. All you care about is getting as many eyes on your stuff as possible. It's a match made in heaven, dude. And that's why I say, like, it's not a stretch to start to wonder, okay, if you're playing games in other countries and you're doing mic'd up stuff and you have a reliable TV deal and, you know, you get streaming going, why would Arizona stay? Why would Colorado stay? That's the point here.
Yep. The Monty rant says, excited to see what fun topics and not so fun topics are discussed today. Happy to watch the show. Well, that's great.
Notice
Monty
the graphic. Rant. Notice the graphic is a Pac-10 graphic.
Yeah, the emoji or whatever you call it. Yeah, the avatar. I love it. It's a Pac-10 logo. Raider Mark, your Mark being innovative again. He is. Yeah, absolutely crushing it. Tanner Plummer. Who's ready for another Monty rant? I am not ranting today. We are maxed out at one per week.
Yeah, one per week.
Forlorn Angel says, yeah, I noticed Monty was really pissed about that. Wow.
Well.
And you're talking about, you know, the San Diego State, you know, dishonesty thing.
Right.
Which is fine. Kyle J says, bucked up blood raz is better than Miami. I ain't ducking no smoke.
Yeah, bro, you ain't ducking no smoke.
Bucked up, no smoke. Bucked up, the official energy drink of the Monty Show. It's just so funny that, you know, I have my bucked up Miami right here. We have our bucked up Miamis right here.
2 O's and bucked up.
I love bucked up, and the funny thing is, blood raz is good. I ain't telling you to duck no smoke.
Ain't ducking no smoke.
Right? Like, I'm not telling you to duck any smoke. I'm here for it, dude. Bucked Up, the official energy drink of the Monty Show. We tell you every day the product just works. And this morning, again, I had my collagen peptides. I had my greens, put it in my shake that I make at home with my Bucked Up protein powder. Whether it is Bucked Up energy, and again, 0 sugar. You guys know I'm passionate. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna eat something, please don't make it sugar. Eat fat, not sugar. Don't eat either one if you can. But I'm telling you that Bucked Up just makes clean energy. It's why I've been so thrilled that Bucked Up put together a buckshot free sample link just for Monty Show viewers. Anywhere in the world that you are, get into the description of this show. There's a link. It says free Bucked Up sample. You click it, and you can get 6 Bucked Up buckshots sent to your front door. They're really high-powered energy shots. So you know the smaller energy drink that gives you a quick boost. Here's the difference with buckshot. One, it tastes great. I'm telling you, the watermelon is mind-blowing. It is so good. But as you can see on the screen, they also have blue raz, and they have blood raz, and they have rocket pop and watermelon. Dude, whatever you want, whatever your favorite flavor is, make sure you get to Bucked Up. Get the link in the description below to get your free buckshot sample. And I just love the story. You know that Bucked Up is a Utah company. The Gardners are a fantastic story. Ryan Gardner just named CEO of the Year again here in the state of Utah. It's everything that you want in a small business. It's just exploded to be an industry leader. Please support Bucked Up. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Use promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. But get in the description on this YouTube show. Hey, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, love you guys. We had a massive month on Spotify. Darn right. Thank you to everybody who listens to the show on Spotify. On podcast, it's in the description of wherever you're getting this podcast as well. Your free buckshot samples from Bucked Up, the official energy drink of the Monty Show. Big Lubbock says Houston has passed up New York and Los Angeles as the most international cities in the U.S. I saw that on Business Insider, I think. I want to say it was BI who had a story on that. I don't know. Los Angeles is awfully difficult to beat for marketing. I just think the melting pot that's there is remarkable. Big Lubbock said, I also heard that BY already had sponsors on board to pay for Big 12 Mexico. He's got interested parties that are going to be the exclusive presenting sponsor of Big 12 football and Big 12 basketball in Mexico. Lopes fan Gabe says, hit the like button. Yeah, you casuals, go ahead, hit the like button. We appreciate it. We have almost 1,000 views on the show, and we're at 64 likes, so please pump it up. Let's go. Let's see. J.K. Marshall says Mexicans are dumping soccer for college football. They're not. They're not at all. Mr. Tinfoil Man, how does the free gift work? Does YouTube just randomly pick people?
Nah, the gifting of memberships? Nah, they go and pick them up.
Yeah, when you give free memberships on the show, by the way, bless you, friends. We always appreciate that. You give a free membership and people just click on the gift box that's on your screen. That's how you claim it. And thank you to Aaron Wilson, who provided a free membership today already. Aaron is fantastic.
Let's go, baby.
Aaron generally gives out several a week. So Aaron Wilson, thank you for that. Appreciate it. If you want to give free memberships, just click the $ at the bottom of the screen. That would be awesome. Love Sports says Meat Rocket, like I've heard there is a meeting between Colorado and the Big 12. The source is Jason Scheer. He's been interviewed on 365 Sports. Listen, you guys, and I'm not saying Jason Scheer doesn't know what he's talking about, or we've been down this road before.
Yeah.
We've been down this road before. Colorado and the Big 12, according to our sources, have already met. So if there's supposedly some big new meeting, or I guess we'll see what happens. But everybody, I would encourage you to calm yourselves when it comes to this guy over here said this.
Yeah.
Come on now. Renee Roca, I might just crack a Modelo after my workout just for the Big 12.
There you go.
Modelo's not bad. I would agree with that. Two Mastas says, click the green box and enable gifts. There you go. Cash Money, why would you want to play in Mexico? Isn't Mexico in the middle of a drug war? The entire country is not in the middle of a drug war. Do they have gang and cartel issues? Sure they do. But what they also have is a massive media market and a lot of untapped revenue for the Big 12. So I absolutely understand it. The Mexicans are passionate fans.
Yeah.
And I would tell you that, being a big fan of soccer, I can tell you that the Mexican soccer fans are fantastic fans. Passionate, they're engaged, they're involved. You want them. You absolutely want it. Browns and Beers says, I'd jump all over it if I was Dos Equis. Yeah, I would agree with that. No doubt about it. Let's see. Jeremy Callahan says, Tanner is RSL for life, Monty. Please don't disqualify him for missing the show yesterday.
Dude, this is such fake news, bro.
This is such fake news. San Diego State. What's up, Glenn? I've already weighed in on the Blood R Aztec Bucked Up. Remember to read the can, 2 per day max. Yeah.
Relax.
Everything in moderation,
Chill
friends.
out, dude.
Everything in moderation is what I would say. Tanner says there's a chance that I'm not disqualified. It's going to take more than that to disqualify the only RSL fan on the Monty Show. Oh, I think there's far more than just one fan
of
RSL. Trust me, by the response that we've gotten, to our promotion with Big O Tires and American Fork for the RSL match against NYFC coming up on June 10th. You guys, you got to get on the track here. All you have to do, if you want to instantly guarantee your spot to join us at America First Field for RSL soccer against NYFC on June 10th in the Zag Club, all you have to do is go to Big O Tires and American Fork, get an oil change, get your tires rotated, get an alignment, buy a set of tires, you name it, spend your money, get your car fixed up, because did you know that Big O Tires and American Fork does far more than tires? Our guy Ryan, we were there today.
Yep.
He's gonna do my tint, and I'm gonna get wheels and tires from him.
Yep.
He does oil changes, you name it. Our guy Ryan at Big O Tires and American Fork, he's your go-to for all of your car care. Anytime you think to yourself, man, my tire's low, my oil light came on, what is this check engine light about? No problem. Ryan at Big O Tires and American Fork.
Yep.
He is our sponsor for the RSL promotion. I am excited about it. The Zag Club, if you don't know, free gourmet meal, all you can eat, all you can drink, alcohol excluded.
I'm for real.
At the RSL match on June 10th. Now, if you want to enter to win, because you can guarantee yourself a spot when you go to Big O Tires and you get your car repaired or you get your oil changed or your fluids topped off, you name it, you're in. But what you can do is find Big O Tires on Twitter or Instagram, Big O Tires in American Fork, and I'm going to put up the screen grab of their Twitter account right there.
Yep.
Big O AF8. They did a great thing every year. Hugs for Holly. Todd Heap's daughter passed away in a tragic accident. You guys remember that? Todd Heap, the great tight end. Hugs for Holly, today's that day. Today is would have been her birthday. So they did a great thing. Check it out on their Twitter and Instagram. But go and comment on their Twitter. Hey, I heard about Hugs for Holly on the Monty Show. Comment on that photo that's on their Twitter or their Instagram. You're entered to win a spot with us at RSL on June 10th. It's really that simple. That's it. That's it. And again, we're announcing, we're trying to add other groups to the event to give you other ways. But I'm telling you, our guys at Big O Tire and American Fork, what a great dude.
Yep.
Family owned and operated, every one of those Big O Tires. So get all over that, and we'll hope to see you there. Jeremy Callahan says, Big O versus SpaghettiOs, who would win? Big O Tires.
Yeah.
Big O Tires. They got my business.
Yep.
So when we lifted the Jeep, where did I get my tires? Where did we get them? Well, we got them at Big O Tires. Telling you, man. Duh. You should absolutely do it. Laura Weiss, hello, says, remember the Alamo. Indeed. Tumastas says, Monterrey is the hub of Mexico's domestic American College Football League. It's been around since the 70s and is televised nationally. It makes sense to try and tap in there. Absolutely, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it makes sense. Tanner Plummer, I'm on the train and I just passed America First Field, second best stadium in Utah behind Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Oh, boy, here we go.
Tanner.
Let's not get crazy. J.K. Marshall, the last soccer game I attended was in the late 70s, Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Okay.
J.K., I'm telling you, man.
RSL was fun, dude.
You know what? And I say this all the time. Going to an MLS match is a great time. Paying to watch it on Apple TV is not going to happen.
Sorry, folks, that's what it is.
It's not going to happen. It isn't. But you want to sit me in the Zag Club? And by the way, on the 10th in this promotion, you not only get seats in the Zag Club, food, drink, free parking, VIP entrance, all of that. You also get an on-field experience before the game.
Just saying.
Connor Cole, what do you get as a person who receives a gift, and thank you for those gifting them out? You get an icon next to your name, which means we read all of your comments first, because we always read member comments first, always on this show. Jeremy Callahan says, I finally created some fake news bucket list box checked.
There you go. See?
Yeah, well,
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
You're trying to tee up Tanner Plummer. Saul Goodman, Mexican youth is more into American culture and stuff like football, not football. I don't know. The Mexican soccer culture is phenomenal.
Yeah.
By the way, they also have an incredible professional baseball league. So, I mean, sports in Mexico is a big deal. And absolutely, I would say that Mexico is a country of conflict. There's just no doubt about that. But that doesn't mean that everything in Mexico is a problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the Mexicans are bad people. What it means is, much like every country on the planet, they've got issues they're trying to deal with.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to go to a football game or that they shouldn't, be able to enjoy things. I mean, I think sometimes we get a little short-sighted on that. That's what I will say about that. Rick Forrester says, MLS on Apple TV sucks. Could be. Thanks, McKenna Tech Dan. This community is awesome. What did McKenna Tech Dan do? What did I miss?
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
Damn, let me
We
go
are
ahead
getting
and pull
crazy
it out here. Let me pull it out.
Yes, sir. Aaron Wilson gave. Raptor 88 gave us 5 memberships. Meat Rocket gave us 5 memberships. And McKenna Tech Dan gifted us 10 memberships. You guys, you got to love that. And again, I say every day on this show, support small business. McKenna Tech Dan, you got to find him on Instagram. He makes custom holsters.
McKenna Tech holsters.
McKenna Tech holsters on Instagram. He's just a good dude. And if you're somebody that needs a holster, if you're a gun enthusiast, if you're somebody that, enjoys having custom pieces like that, get with McKenna Tech holsters. Dan's a really good dude. He supports the show as well as any listener could support the show. Dan, we really appreciate the fact that you give us memberships like that. We really appreciate the fact that, you're a hardworking dude who started his own company, which is what the American dream's about, right? So go support the people who support this show. That includes McKenna Tech holsters. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate all of you. Dorian Davison picked up a free membership. Thank you, Dorian. Like, you guys, it's incredible how many people have been gifted memberships on this show. And I think you guys see we have a really good community.
Yeah.
We have a really good community. So I appreciate everybody that's picking up all the free memberships. Thank you for that. If you do happen to get one, make sure you shout the guys out who gave them to you. That helps a lot. Truck Stop Gumby has a cowboy hat with a smile on.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
All hat and no cattle.
Can't back down.
That's one of the best insults I've ever heard.
It's a soft person tendency.
Yeah, it is a soft person tendency.
Yeah.
All hat, no cattle.
Yeah.
Nate Davis, so does this mean Colorado, Utah, Arizona State, and Oregon State are going to the Big 12, and Oregon and Washington are going to the Big 10? Not from what we understand. And I will again say that I think our sources have been pretty rock solid on Big 12 expansion, Pac-12 TV situation. Program. I will again just say that I feel like very straightforward. There is not a school in the Pac-12 that's excited or eager to leave. That is very different than there's not a school in the Pac-12 ready to leave.
Right.
Because my opinion is Arizona and Arizona State are ready to jump. I've told you that pretty much from the best sources we have, that Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah have all had extensive conversations with the Big 12. We've heard that repeatedly. I got roundly booed on Twitter and on this show in the comment section when I told you last week that, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, Colorado's not ready to jump to the Big 12. That is not something that's going to happen today. Are they talking to the Big 12? They have, and I'm sure they are. But there's nobody in this conference that's just going to jump off a ledge until this TV deal gets some clarity to it.
Yep.
We've heard that time and time and time again. And we've talked to high-ranking people in both the television industry. We have talked to high-ranking people at multiple universities in the Pac-12, and they have all said the exact same thing. Those spots are ready and waiting for them. And when this TV deal comes to light, I think you're going to see it's going to be between $20 and $22 million. I believe that ESPN is going to be the tier one partner. And I believe that a streamer, and I would think at this point that it would be Amazon, would be involved for a game of the week. I don't believe in that current structure that they can get 10 teams to sign a grant of rights for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Because that's the structure of the deal. We've been telling you since October that it's a 5-year deal. And so when you hear President Robbins and you hear all of these athletic directors and presidents talking about how they don't want long-term commitments. You heard the chancellor of Colorado was the last one last week coming out and saying, we're not doing a 12-year deal that did damage to the conference. I think we've pretty much nailed that. We were the first ones to report exclusively, hey, it's a $22 million deal right now. And we were the first ones to report, hey, here are the 4 schools that are not on board with total streaming. And we've told you that President Kase at Washington has pretty much led the line of presidents and chancellors who are against 100% streaming, specifically 100% streaming on Apple TV, because they have seen the mess that was created with the MLS. And I don't think there's any doubt that MLS has really struggled with their deal with Apple TV. We've also told you that Apple TV would be looking for rebates from the Pac-12 if certain subscription levels were not reached. And I am telling you again that presidents and chancellors are not on board for that.
Yeah.
And so I think it is unlikely that there will be a deal that has 100% of Pac-12 athletic content on stream. I just don't think that makes sense. I will continue to tell you again, I believe the first school that's going to pull the ripcord is going to be Arizona. And
Thanks.
I think what Arizona and ASU do, they do together. I think that Colorado is going to be one of the first schools out. And I have told you repeatedly, my sources in the conference and my sources in the TV industry, I was told again yesterday, keep your eye on Oregon State, because Oregon State is trying to be progressive. And Oregon State is one of those institutions that is not going to be left behind. And only time will tell. But if you go all the way back to our shows last August and September, and I don't mind telling you, we have not gotten one detail of this deal wrong. And what always has happened is we have told you, hey, it's $22 million. What's widely being reported across the country right now? Hey, the deal's $22 million.
Keep it real.
When we first told you exclusively on the Monty Show, Amazon Prime Sports is in for a Friday night game of the week with the Pac-12, not the whole deal. What's everybody reporting across the country? It's a Friday night deal with Amazon. I'm telling you, we have pretty good sources in pretty high places.
Yeah.
It's and demonstrated by, like, we were the first ones to report that ION TV was not going to be involved on a large scale, coast to coast with the Pac-12. I don't know what else to tell you, but all of these wild rumors about Colorado's ready to go,
Yeah.
I just don't. From what I've been told, Colorado's not ready to go today. I think Colorado is going to do what everybody has agreed to do. And by the way, Taylor Randall at Utah, we reported it exclusively on this show. Taylor Randall's been the peacemaker in this conference.
Hey, guys.
And he has said, hey, we gave George Kliavkoff marching orders. Let him execute those marching orders.
Yes.
And then let's make decisions.
Yes.
It's been that simple.
Yep.
So I would just caution you before you get all, hot and bothered about, Colorado. With all due respect to Jason Scheer, I don't know Jason Scheer. We know of Jason Scheer from our time at Arizona,
Yeah.
who said that Sean Miller was clean as a whistle and all of this is ridiculous. And, well, Sean Miller's fired and we pretty much know why.
Yeah.
And there's evidence and testimony and
It's pretty straightforward, bro.
I'm just telling you. And I'm not saying Jason Scheer's wrong. We just know of his work. And I will just stand firmly on the things that we have reported on this show.
Yeah.
So
With all due respect.
I don't see any way, shape, or form that the Pac-12 is going to get 10 presidents to agree to have all of their broadcasts on Apple TV.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, dude. It's just not. That just doesn't make sense for a variety of different reasons. So, yeah.
I just don't see that happening. And it is something that we have reported for several months now, that President Kase at Washington is not on board with 100% streaming.
And I don't think they should be. I don't think that it's a thing where, like, I'm a big advocate of streaming. I think streaming is awesome. And I even would go as far as to say that I think that, I right now today, I'd humor a 50-50 stream linear deal. I would. I'd look at it. I would want to know, okay, well, what's going to draw someone to the stream versus linear? That's absolutely a conversation because you can still get linear on your phone. But I do think that streaming is the next frontier. And I think, again, this
That's
whole
very
concept,
true.
like this whole concept of mic'd up stuff and behind the scenes and taking you places that you never would have gone. It's like, why did the Prime documentary do so well or whatever for Deion Sanders on Amazon? Well, I mean, it did so well because you got to see him in a more personal light. You got to start to understand who Deion Sanders was at an HBCU in Jackson State. You got to see who he was and how he treated people and just what that is. And you don't get to see that just in the day-to-day. And that's why I say, like, we need to be in on that conversation where Buddy's getting chewed out. We need to be in on that conversation where it's like this thing in the XFL where they take you into the review room. Where the broadcasters shut the hell up. And you can hear, hey, Dean Blandino is looking at the play and Buddy's foot was on the line, and that's why the play was not upheld.
Hearing Dean Blandino, who, by the way, is the replay official in the for, I believe, Fox. He consults Fox in the NFL. But watching him, in the booth actually making decisions, and you get to watch and hear him going through the play and making the decision, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's priceless. You can't put a value on it, man.
And I absolutely think, like, Steve Javie in the NBA doing that, I think it's absolutely critical. I don't think there is any doubt that that's the future. And Brett Yormark rolling that out, I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I feel like, listen, the Pac-12 is in very much of a no-win situation. And if you don't recognize at this point in time that, and I feel like I say this every day, but I think it's pertinent today again. Today, the Pac-12 is very vulnerable. There is just no doubt about that. The Pac-12 is very vulnerable because you hear these innovative ideas and you hear the execution. We've seen Brett Yormark put this event together in Kansas City for the Big 12 championship. We see Brett Yormark doing deals with Jera World for a Big 12 Pro Day. Like, he's executing the plan. And the other thing that he's doing that is a foreign concept in the Pac-12 is he's unifying his constituents. He is unifying his presidents and bringing them all back together. And I just think that's a vital part of his success. Mm-hmm. And I think you look at the way all of this is played out. You know what else this does? I think this very largely eliminates the issues like with Cody Epps at BYU and the transfer portal. Like, that goes away.
Yeah.
Right? That goes away. And you see, did Cody Epps take a huge payday from the SEC? He didn't. Where's Cody Epps, the BYU wide receiver, who's in the transfer portal yesterday? Where's he going? Well, it turns out he's going nowhere. He's staying at BYU. Like, why would you go anywhere?
Yeah.
Why would you go anywhere? Because you can't tell me BYU isn't a huge draw in Mexico City. Can't tell me BYU football is not a huge draw in Monterey. Like, there's no reason to go other places. And I think that's one of the things that we have to watch. Like, how do the TV numbers do this season? Leading into a new deal, the last year, your current deal, with, by the way, the same partners.
Yep.
Right? So it's almost as if this is an imaginary deadline where a new deal starts, right? How do the TV numbers look? How do the broadcasts look? How do the on-field performances look? Like, you got to pay attention to all this stuff because I just feel like you have a situation where you're going to quickly realize that you're making money.
Yeah.
And it's new money. And it's almost like you stood up and there was $100 bill in the couch you'd forgotten about.
And by the way, you can charge more because it's exclusive content to the Big 12. It's exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff that you're not going to get on another broadcast. And that's what I think people kind of discount. It's like, oh, yeah, well, mic'd up stuff. Yeah, but the average football fan is going to be really involved in that. So when people start catching wind who maybe don't follow the offseason news cycle in college football, they turn on a Big 12 game and all of a sudden Cody Epps is mic'd up and he's talking to who the hell ever on the sideline. Like, that's a great moment.
And BYU already has that baked into their athletic culture.
Yeah, they do.
Because of BYU TV and their content machine.
Bro, BYU had photo day at the beginning of the season just like every other program does. Dude, they did like a 15-minute YouTube behind-the-scenes episode on it, bro. Like, they just understand it. They execute it.
We were talking to a client today about video, and it truly is as simple as, hey, if somebody is, unloading their fiber from the back door, we need to get that on tape, right? Like, it's as simple as that. That's the nicest way I can say that.
Here I am.
But I'm telling you, at BYU, when you've got, by some indication, 700,000 LDS members in Mexico.
Hey, guys.
Tell me that's not a huge draw.
Yeah.
to have BYU football go play a game in Monterey.
700,000.
It's insane, dude. Thank you, Truck Stop Gumby, for perfectly illustrating my point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's incredible, man. It is a really important time. It is really important. Okay, Mr. Tinfoil Live. Mr. Tinfoil Man Live says, my account is a brand account, so I can't get free membership gifts. Oh.
Wow. Sorry, buddy. No, that's okay. You can still pay $199.
Yeah. Derek Myrie says Sanders equals more money.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that there's brand value in Deion Sanders, Coach Prime?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt.
There's no doubt.
Anywhere he goes this year, you're going to see a full house, I think.
Yeah, and anywhere he goes, there's going to be a camera on him.
And I think there's going to be TV cameras, and people are going to want to see Colorado football this year, no doubt. C. Kaufman, well, you'll have a Big Ten after dark to fall asleep to. You will.
Damn right.
You will, and it's going to be USC and UCLA. And can you, again, in 2024, can you imagine, Big Ten after dark, USC versus Ohio State, USC versus Michigan at the Coliseum? You're going to get that. You're absolutely going to get that. Travis Bird says we need a day-to-day documentary on Jennifer Aniston. We do. We do. We absolutely do.
Hold on. Travis Bird, you've been back. So Travis Bird's been a long-time member of the program. Mm-hmm. Decided he needed to take a little break or came up with all these excuses as to why he wasn't, member of the show anymore. Comes back and your first comment is about the fact that there's needs to be a day-to-day on Jennifer Aniston. Way to stay on brand, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, you got to stay on brand because when you think of Big Daddy Magic, you think Jennifer Aniston. When you think about the best barbecue equipment in the business, you think about Barbecue Pit Stop. BBQPitstop.com.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
The best barbecue equipment in the business. Traeger, Big Green Egg, Yoder, Camp Chef. They've got it all at Barbecue Pit Stop, BBQPitstop.com. And I love it because they make it easy to shop at Barbecue Pit Stop because you can shop online, bbqpitstop.com. No matter where you're watching the show, bbqpitstop.com. And again, if you need, rubs, spices, sauces, seasoning, bbqpitstop.com. If you need to know how long you need to let that brisket rest once it comes off the grill, bbqpitstop.com. You need a thermometer? You need a digital thermometer? bbqpitstop.com. They've got it all, guys. And again, small businesses, local entrepreneurs from Layton, Logan Layton, Lehigh, Payson, St. George, our good friends in Murray on State Street across from the mall. Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com.
Thanks.
Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty program. Jackson Graham says, thank you, I'm back. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. You're
welcome.
welcome.
It's good to have you back, man. Tanner, you would be surprised, CKS. There's a good number of Latter-day Saints outside of Utah who care about BYU sports. Why do you think BYU fans take over opposing teams' stadiums? Well,
you start talking shit.
And I think, having lived a brief, forgettable period of my life in Arizona where it's hot, and it's a dry heat and it doesn't mean anything because it's still really hot. When we saw BYU in Arizona at State Farm Stadium, that place was all blue. It was not Arizona fans. It was all BYU fans. BYU fans in Vegas, BYU fans at Notre Dame, BYU fans all over the country.
Yeah, your mom's house.
Absolutely. BYU at pretty much every bowl game they play in, you see a large number of BYU fans.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has anything to do with the church. I think it has simply to do with the fact that BYU has a large alumni base that is well-heeled. They have deep pockets.
Yeah.
And I think what the church does is it just gives you reach. It gives you reach. So when somebody says, oh, BYU, yeah, I'm going to go see their game against Arizona. Or it's a big brand. They have built a brand, and is the church responsible for that? Certainly they are.
Yeah.
Right? But I think BYU has been on ESPN and on so many national games. I mean, the entire world watched Taysom Hill jump over the Texas Longhorns, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Hail Mary from Tanner Mangum at Nebraska, like, you look at these situations and you look at the way that business is conducted, and you quickly realize that BYU is not just some small brand or some, little technical institute. It's Brigham Young, and they're a big deal. And, oh, by the way, they also have a national championship.
What's up, motherfuckers?
So that's what I'm saying. Better Call Saul, San Diego State to the Big 12 for After Dark programming. No.
Excuse me, it's programming?
No.
No.
Truck Stop Gumby, Jennifer plays intramurals. Ooh, Jennifer Aniston is not.
Don't play intramurals,
No. Mm-mm. She's major league talent.
Please.
Are you serious? Come on now. Ron McClure. I could care less about BYU football. Easy. Wow. Okay. Who's your team, Ron? Jennifer Aniston is the typical mom you'll run into in Draper. Trust me, I know from experience. No, you don't.
Well, it's unfortunate, Tanner, that you're not going to be able to see Jennifer Aniston anymore on your phone, you know?
Well, not in Utah, you won't. But she'll be at the RSL match, Tanner. Maybe, hopefully, Travis Bird. I heard from sources that BYU cheerleaders smell like day-old mayonnaise.
Wow.
Okay. Two Masters. Where do you guys come up with this stuff?
Day-old mayonnaise.
Two Masters Gonzaga fans,
like
settle
Gonzaga.
down. You might be left in the WCC.
Gonzaga.
I think it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You know, you talk to enough people and you hear the same thing from enough people.
Gonzaga.
That's a valuable brand. Truck Stop Gumby makes a great point. Moms need love too. They do. Absolutely they do. Come on over, Jen. Mark Ruckert, could care less or couldn't care less? Okay, you guys. Could care less means that you could actually care less. Could not care less means even if you tried, there's no possible way you could care less. I love that people do that. Well, I could care less. Okay, so go ahead, care less. Let me go. No, go ahead. I'll just be over here waiting for you to care less. Go ahead. I don't understand the grammatical errors. But Ruckert, I appreciate you pointing that out. Seems to me could care less means that there is still some less caring on the table. Jeremy Callahan, but are there BYU fans in Monterrey, Mexico by the tens of thousands?
Yes, there are, dude.
Absolutely. And donuts. Jen, I'd tap that. Signed Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Levi Long. Definitely no Kliavkov fans. Not in this room.
Who's Kliavkov?
Kliavkov, thank you.
Thank you.
Travis Bird. B, will you fad you like cockroaches? You can find them everywhere. BYU fans. Wow, okay. All right, Big Daddy Magic. I see where we're going to go with this. Go Tigers. Hey, those BYU fans came out when they played LSU in New Orleans in 2018.
New Orleans.
Everywhere. Ron McClure. I don't hate BYU, obviously. Like ASU much more. Nothing wrong with that.
Forks down.
Dillingham's got you rolling it. Why would you say that? Dillingham's got you rolling in the right direction.
Dilly.
Does Jennifer Aniston like BYU? No, that's an honor code violation. Jacob DeLambo, going to a BYU game counts as church attendance, allegedly. Hey, man.
Allegedly.
You know.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Where do we come up with this idea that, well, if I go to a BYU game, my soul will be cleansed of all of those Jennifer Aniston fantasies?
God bless.
And now that I can't watch Pornhub in Utah, I should probably go to the game.
That's every day.
Because I've seen every episode of Friends. Right? Do you have a Hollywood hottie? Because Jennifer Aniston's absolutely on my list. Absolutely, she's on my list.
Let me look up some names. I'm not great with names, but I have no faces.
Speaking of Monterey, the voluptuous Hispanic actress whose name I can never remember. It's terrible. Jeremy Callahan, but also does there even need to be BYU fans in Monterrey, Mexico for it to be successful? No, but it would be awesome to see.
Hayek.
Selma Hayek, yes, hello.
Stay home.
But it would be awesome to see full stadiums of passionate fans in color.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Two Master, nope. Tanner Plummer, American football is starting to gain traction in Mexico. I wouldn't be surprised if many Latter-day Saints, you mean, no, care about BYU football, so I wouldn't be surprised if BYU fans show up in Mexico. Tell me that Karen and Dave wouldn't book a flight on, United Airlines to Mexico City to see BYU.
Bro, Tanner, dude, I appreciate your commitment to the Latter-day Saint nomenclature. I really do.
Tanner's all about it.
He's about it, dude.
So for those of you who don't know, Jake and I are not members of the Mormon Church. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints put out some
Text.
talking points.
Scripture.
No, not scripture. Some educational leaflets.
Leaflets.
That's all I had. Where they said, we don't prefer the term Mormon.
That's not what we're about.
We're Latter-day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ.
Ain't ducking no smoke.
So that's why Tanner constantly says, and I appreciate the ligaments in your thumb, even though I'm sure those are used for other things.
We'll do it.
Many Latter-day Saints, because they are no longer Mormons, apparently.
Right.
I'm going to hell. I freely admit it. I don't think hell's real. David Scott, Utes are just hating this conversation right now.
Twitter's been going crazy.
I believe they are. U of Houston alum. Howdy from H-Town, Monty. Go Texans.
Howdy from Cheater Town.
Had to go there, didn't you, Jake?
Yeah, I'm not letting it go. You gonna roll in here with the Houston Astros logo? I
Yeah,
ain't letting that go,
I ain't
bro.
ducking no smoke on the Astros.
I ain't ducking no smoke. Okay, Ja, I ain't doing it.
Ain't ducking no smoke.
I'm not ducking no smoke.
Can't back down.
The Astros cheated.
It's a soft person tendency.
Go Dodgers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Travis Bird, Jennifer Aniston likes Utah. It's only 5'4" girls that weigh 595 pounds. Guy, what is wrong with you? Be nice. Jeremy Callahan, yeah, if Tanner Plummer even gets to go, he ain't going. He ain't going. My inside sources here at the Monty Show tell me that there are 12 other more deserving individuals that are Mormon and are not Latter-day.
Don't you know who I am?
Tanner, relax. It will be
It's a joke.
It will be a fair draw.
We're just razzing you, dude.
Yeah, blood raz.
Don't jab the super soaker gun, please.
Yeah, please. Mark Ruckert, your mark equals Wayne Gretzky skates to where the puck is going. Exactly right. Exactly right. No disrespect to the Big 12, Mike says, but playing a championship game in Missouri for West Coast teams instead of San Francisco or Las Vegas wouldn't seem very motivating. But here's the problem. Everybody plays their games in Las Vegas, and Levi Stadium is
brutal.
Not good. The turf there is brutal. Now, you want to talk about, playing the Big 12 championship game? Well, aren't you going to play it in the heart of Big 12 country?
Yeah, Jerry World.
Jerry World? Okay, sure. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game at AT&T Stadium? I could see that. But playing a basketball tournament in Kansas City? Absolutely the right way to go. Absolutely the right way to go. It's a destination, and here's the thing. Oh, well, yes. Kansas City, they don't wear deodorant there, and their barbecue's overrated. Well, that's why we bring Shaq in, and we have events, and we have one-off opportunities where you get to mingle with this guy and that guy.
Well
and
said.
Pitbull, and you bring in like all these celebrities, and you have parties and after parties. Oh, by the way, there's also a basketball tournament going on. And I'd remind you, the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the country, so there is some high-level basketball going on.
It is what it is.
But hey, did you guys see that? I don't know who's a big music person. What's her name and her brother?
What's her name and her brother? Thanks for helping me out,
I
dude.
can't remember with the black hair. She was on Howard. Phineas.
What?
Her brother's name is Phineas.
Bro, I don't know. I'm sorry, dude.
It's out of my. How do you not know this? She's the real soulful singer. I can't remember her name. Anyway, but Taylor Swift is also going to perform at the Big 12 championship game. Or, somebody help me. What is the girl's name? You got to be kidding me right now. I can't think of it. Anyway, it's fine. Scott Graywater says, 2-time World Series champion Houston Astros haters. Tears are sweet. Yeah,
The Alex Earl girl?
No.
What are you talking about, bro?
Her brother, Phineas. Not Phineas and Ferb, you
Dude,
jerks.
who, dude?
What is her name?
That's literally what comes up on Google, bro. Phineas
Why
and
do you
Ferb.
hate me? Why do you hate me? Now I'm literally opening up my Apple Music app. This is terrible. This is not good. Recently played, which never updates. Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish.
Dude, I've never even heard of Phineas. Who the hell is Phineas?
That's her brother.
Okay, cool. Might as well be her
God.
uncle. I don't know who Buddy is.
Do you guys see what I deal with on this
Damn.
show? DeLambo says, man, I want to see D-Wade and everything here in Utah. Well, he ain't living in Florida anymore. Did you guys hear that story? My argument is distance for fans, not the quality of the championship game. But see, the thing is, Mike, and the reason I disagree with you on this is because I look at why you travel that distance. Okay, so if it's Kansas City, let's just stick and stay with college basketball. If you're a West Virginia fan, are you coming to see Billie Eilish or Shaq? You're probably not. But guess what? You're an awkward fit in the conference anyway. But let me ask you this. If you're Houston fan, are you coming to see Billie Eilish or Shaq? You are. Number one, you have the best basketball team in the conference, arguably, right? Number two, it's Kansas City. So it's popping. There's nice hotels there. Okay. If you are in Provo, Utah, and you hear that, I don't know, who? John Bon Jovi is going to perform, you're going to go.
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons. You're going to go. Right? Well, you won't go because BYU doesn't play men's basketball. They play.
No.
Yeah, they play intramurals. But my point is.
Go play intramurals, brother.
Right? I mean, BYU doesn't have a men's basketball team. Just like I don't think Utah has a women's softball team either, but I could be wrong. Anyway,
Yeah,
my point
it's
is
tough, dude.
My point is you go because it's an event. You're willing to fly further to Kansas City. But if you're Arizona or Arizona State, is it really that far of a flight from Arizona to Kansas City, Missouri?
No.
It's not. It to me, if you are Gonzaga, it's not far at all to Kansas City. If you are, I mean, think about obviously
Gonzaga.
Kansas. Lawrence to Kansas City is not far at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're K-State, if you're
Gonzaga.
Stillwater, like Dallas, Houston, Lubbock, like you're not going to trifle at going to Kansas City. You're not going to struggle. You're not going to have to say, well, man, dude, Lubbock, Texas to Kansas City for Billie Eilish. I'm not doing that. Yeah, you are. Absolutely you are. Oh, by the way, there's phenomenal basketball being played. So you're absolutely doing that. Cash money. Mormon is a nickname because we read the Book of Mormon. The church's name has always been the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So yes, we are Latter-day Saints, not Mormons. Correct. But the popular vernacular
The nomenclature
is Mormons.
Yeah.
And the church has told members not to use that
She took
vernacular.
offense.
But I appreciate you, Cash Money, giving us a $10 tip.
But no one's going to disrespect me.
Jeremy Callahan says, Billie Eilish, Billy Idol, what you mean, man? I don't know what I mean. Ruff's Official is in early today. I would bet there are a bunch of Swifties in this chat. See, and Jake and I have like blood feuds over Taylor Swift. Because I think me personally, and again, I'm not trying to tell you guys how to live your life. You know I wouldn't do that.
But here comes the diss of Taylor Swift.
I think the only thing better than Taylor Swift is Papa Murphy's Pizza. And really, if we're drilling down, it's the meatball marinara that's better than Taylor Swift.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.